Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of Old Guy Farmer's single player challenge, day 34, which is the 4th day of summer in year 2. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Sorry for that abrupt departure in the previous stream. My wife came down and said that our son's ear had blood gushing out of it. So I had to obviously put an abrupt stop to things. Now when I got upstairs and discovered that it just was didn't seem to have as gushing effect as I was thinking it would be, we went ahead and took him into the emergency room and had him looked at, and all is well. We've got some drops and whatnot to give him, but everything should be good. So in the meantime, Old Guy Farmer did come on and left a comment. Even though we had pre-approved the Big M as an appropriate implement for the challenge, apparently the daily maintenance was a bit low compared to other things of that size and power. So we have tweaked the daily maintenance, and it says $225 a day in here. But if you go into the shop, where is it? So if you go into the shop now, it is $875 a day. And what we're going to do is just to maybe satisfy everybody, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this back to the store. We're going to sell this, and we're going to buy the one that's in the store. Even though this one should have the daily maintenance of $875 a day, because I simply went in and edited the XML. We're just going to go ahead and do this little procedure. It'll take a little bit of time, but that's okay. I really didn't look at the daily maintenance too much because of it was approved for use. So, but when I looked at the XML, it was a bit low. For some reason, the mod itself, as it is downloaded, has a daily maintenance of just $75, which is a bit low for a self-propelled mower of this size. So the $875 maintenance should be more on par with regular grain harvesters. So we'll just send this back. I suspect the difference in pricing from $875 to $2 something is something that Seasons is somehow doing. We shouldn't take too big of a financial hit since we only have 0.1 hours on this. We have had it for more than 30 real life minutes, so we won't get a full refund. Oh, it looks like we will. I'll take that. So again, here it is, $875 a day. Select $895 a day as it is configured. I think we're going to change the color. Nah, we'll just leave it there. And no, we're going to buy it. There we go. So let's just see. $225 a day. Yeah, that's something that's dealing with Seasons, I guess. So other than taking some amount of time to do all of this, that's fine. We're gonna save a boatload of time with respect to our mowing with this thing. So this is the GTX mods Big M, and rumor has it that that he has a new version of this that is simply waiting on Giants to release a patch. It seems like it's been waiting for a patch, or this the new Big M's been waiting on a patch for probably, I feel like 3 or 4 months now. But right now this particular model will not do a wide swath, it will just do a windrow. And once Giants releases their patch, this particular implement will be able to do a wide swath again. Although I'm not really sure why you would want to do a wide swath. At one point I was thinking that it would probably be useful to do a wide swath if you wanted to tether and make grass, or not make grass, but make hay. But with this this little VizCon tether, you can tether the windrow without any issue whatsoever. So we did miss, and I'm going to do an Control Y because I want to do front wheel steering. We did miss a little section here. I'm going to go ahead and get that. And we're going to get back here to finishing up what we were doing when we were interrupted with our little emergency. So it turns out that he doesn't only have an inner ear infection and a sinus infection in his one ear. Apparently he has an outer ear infection, which is likely what caused that that blood to come out. And they said it's not uncommon. An outer ear infection is basically what swimmer's ear is. So we've just got some drops to give, and just the general guidance of keep an eye on it. And then the guidance of trying to keep a 3-year-old settled and not too active for 2 or 3 days. So that sounds rather interesting and impossible to do. So at some point I plan on, I thought about doing Courseplay and have Courseplay run the mower. And then while Courseplay was running the mower, I could drive the baler manually. And then when the when the mower was done, I could basically set the baler up on Courseplay to run the same course and do the baling while I ran around and picked up the bales, or moved the mower over to the next field in staging preparation. But since we're doing the tedding action and we're here at the main farm where we've got a whole bunch of grass that is not defined by a field, I figured we'd just do all this by hand. Hey Robert, how you doing in chat there? How's your day been? Hopefully it's been less exciting than mine. This mower definitely makes quick work of these fields and these areas. Hey country girl, how are you doing? Are you done with the Battlefield game, or are you just giving other war games some love? Alright, we're going to set the baler up on follow me. He won't be able to keep up for long, but whatever he does get, that'll be helpful. Hey Gino, how are you doing? Well, I'm doing pretty good right now. I had a bit of a family emergency earlier in the day. I had to was streaming, and the wife came down and said, we need to take your son to the emergency room like right now. I was like, oh, okay. So I saved out and exited the stream pretty much as quick as I could, and got upstairs and got ready, and I could see some blood had dried up on the outside of his ear, and she was telling me that blood was gushing out of his ear, so I was like, oh, okay. Doesn't seem to be gushing at the moment, but as a former medic, I trust her opinion, so we went to the ER and discovered that he has an inner ear infection and an outer ear infection, and that's likely where the blood was coming from. So we've got some antibiotics for him. We've got some ear drops. Dose him with Motrin and Tylenol, and just keep him inactive. So that's what we're going to do, I guess. So hopefully the excitement for the day is done, and we can just chill out and relax here, doing our second most favorite thing, and that is mowing grass and baling. So we are tedding this field, if you didn't watch the previous stream, because last winter, well, basically the last day of August, if you didn't watch the stream several streams ago, the last day of August, year one, we were fighting a wet crop condition, and we needed to ted up some hay to make hay for our sheep, and we did not get that accomplished. We came down to the literal 11th hour of tedding and getting ready to bale it. We had one windrow of hay ready. We were making another windrow of hay, and the clock struck midnight, and the Cinderella slipper fell and broke, and literally we saw the hay and the grass disappear from the field and right in front of our eyes, even though it was windrowed. So that was a rather shocking occurrence, and as a result of that, we had to buy bales in for all of winter and spring. Just the other day we fed our last hay bale that we bought in, so I am not going to be caught out anymore. We are going to make, before we start wrapping silage bales, we are going to make enough hay bales to feed all of the sheep that we are going to have for the remainder of this challenge. I've calculated it up, and I believe we need about 41 bales. So we're going to mow grass, ted it, and bale it until we have 41 bales of hay. And once we have 41 bales of hay, we'll switch over to baling grass and wrapping it. So I found this this little tedder on the in-game mod hub. It's I think it's got like a 1.9 or 2 meter working width, and it's got little fingers here on the back to kind of keep the hay in a windrow. So I think it's really intended to windrow up just one little mower's width, but it seems to handle this Big M windrow just fine. So we're tedding up a Big M windrow, and then we've got our baler behind us baling it up. So if that works, then why not do it, right? No, it won't. We've already got, I think we got 12 or 14 bales off of the field over there. Now this is not full growth. This is, I think, next to last stage growth on the grass. But I didn't want to wait till full growth to start. I simply wanted to just get started. And I expect tomorrow, game day 5 of winter, we will have full growth on the stuff we haven't cut. Oh, are you playing Gino's playing the Mountain Valley Old Guy Farmers map? Are you using the Sweden geo edit? What map are you doing, Sean? Your first season's prepared map? Oh, Mavericks. Mavericks was just updated to version 3. I think you would be fine to simply do an in-place upgrade, except I saw a posting where he said that you would be missing a few trees that he put in, but beyond that, a save game change wouldn't be required. But depending how far you are into the gameplay on Seasons, there's probably not too much that you've managed to accomplish yet. What season length did you pick, Sean? Oh, okay, so you could easily swap over to version 3 if you wanted. Day seasons, okay. Hey Henry, how you doing? These are some pretty big windrows just for second to last stage growth. Well, the max days is 24. That would be absolutely insane, I think. 24-day seasons. Hey Colin, how are you doing? Sean and Gino, what speed are you playing at? Are you doing 5 times speed? 24-day 1 time speed would be insane. I think you could probably harvest every tree on the map before spring would let out. Five times. So at 5 times speed, it takes about 4 game hours for real life time to get through a day. I was expecting the baler to have given up, saying that he was too far away from me before now, but looks like he's still doing his job. Yeah, I can only imagine, Gino, how bad the snow is. Anybody that's watched GrizzlyBearSims' streams on this competition has seen probably the full brunt that Seasons can give for winter, because he had snow 5 of the 6 days of winter, and it wasn't until toward the end of game day 3 of spring did all his snow melt. So he's got basically three days of spring to do all of his field prep and planting. I had commented yesterday that it seemed like all of the implements that I own have the worst lights. It's so hard to see anything at nighttime. We got another little patch of grass here somewhere. There it is. We're gonna park you over here. I'm going to disconnect you. Apparently he's decided he's too far away now, so let's get a little better light on the situation. Go. I was wondering why this baler wouldn't auto unload. Then I realized that we had sold the old baler and bought it back, so of course this baler wouldn't already have been set to auto unload. So, Sean, be aware if you're talking about the Mountain Valley map, remember that map has no defined fields. You have to create every field. So it is right up there with the best of the hard maps. There are no missions. The only way you can make any money is logging. You start with no equipment. So there's nothing to sell at the start to get a base. I've been playing that map for a little bit, and I'm trying. Basically, I started with 15,000, which is what you start with on hard. And my goal on that map is to not be in debt, and basically. So what I did was I leased a Massey Ferguson tractor. I leased a log trailer. I bought Massey Ferguson arms. I bought the Stoll log fork, and I bought a chainsaw. And I bought the Massey Ferguson rear weight. And basically I used that to bring in I think 3 loads of logs. And after the 3rd load of logs I was able to return the tractor and buy a new tractor. So that was a batch of leasing costs I didn't have to do anymore. And I don't mind leasing the trailer because the trailer only is you're only charged usage on a trailer when you're hooked up to it. So like in 3 game days or 4 game days, I think I've only put half of an hour of usage on the log trailer because the only time I'm hooked up to it is when I'm transporting logs to or from the sell point. There's some clearings, not a lot. Sean says, is there space to make a field before you clear with logs? There's some space that could be cleared away, or that is already cleared away, but it's not a lot of space. I think if you did field work first, you would definitely have to take out a loan, because you'd have to, you know, even if you leased the tractor, you would have to lease a plow, and you'd have to lease a cultivator, and you'd have to lease a seeder, you'd have to buy a seed. Depending on the temperature, you'd have to wait for the temperature to get to a seeding point anyway. So like with me, I'm doing 12-day seasons, the Midwest, and it's still not warm enough for me to plant much of anything in day 4 of spring. So it's pretty hard for me to see any type of hay windrow here. I think I'm going to pretty much wait until daylight to do any more baling, to kind of pick up the dredges here. So what we will do is we'll park this over here, and we'll go over here and find our semi. Oh, here it is. Let's get our eggs. I see our sheep are needing grass, but we'll get them grass once I finish counting these bales. Round bales, work position. Alright, let's see how well we can pick these bales up in the middle of the night. Thankfully my screen's a little brighter, I think, than your all's screen. So it's 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That should be all of those there. So I am seeing our stripes on our stars and stripes field. So we do now have full growth on all of our mat grass. And now I've stopped counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right, 16. 17. 18, 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Missed this bale earlier. 35. 36. Apparently there's no collision on that post, so we just drove through it. 37. 38. Missed that one. 39. Oh, we already got our 42. 40. 41. 42. That there is a full load. Well, I guess I should put the rear up. All right, now. So we've got 42 bales. I'm seeing about 5 more bales out there. So we now have enough hay, according to my calculations, to feed our sheep for the full duration of the challenge. So we're going to leave them here. Oops. B. X. Alright, we want X. There we go. That's what I wanted the whole time. Now this UAL trailer is pretty cool. If you didn't see me demonstrate this earlier, you see the mesh? That's normal, but I can move it. So that's something that I think is pretty slick. We're going to come around and do another pass on this. I'm going to get a little closer. We want to switch to this side. And we want to extend it out a little bit. Alright, now let's bring it here. Let's unload. And there they go. Alright. Gino's asking, what trailer do you use? This trailer I found over on modhoster.com. I'll show you in the store. It's an Italian trailer. It's this Rendazzo. That's not it. Here it is. This is a Rendazzo, and it's a PA971. Okay. You can get it with or without auto load. You can get Fendt, New Holland, John Deere, or original. This basically changes to like Fendt green, New Holland blue, John Deere green. You can get it with. You can take these front arms off if you want. And it also acts as a flatbed to transport like equipment. So we're going to feed our sheep, and then we're going to go down and tend to our greenhouses. since we're working through the night. We almost have 4 full pallets of wool. That's good to see. Alright, we're going to give them one more pallet, or one more bale of hay. Just go ahead and pull it out of the field here. Oh, that is a rock. Didn't even see that until I was over it. So we can return the tedder now. We're not going to need it anymore. While we're giving them water, oops, we will run over here and check our sheep prices. 34.40. Summer day 5. Okay. Oh wow, they're taking a lot. Oh, it's technically multicolor. You can go in here and pick any color you want. And that'll change the bed and the ramps. Or if you pick Fent, you'll basically get the Fent green instead of the red. It's Duck Zorley in the house. We've done our mowing for the day, Duck. You missed that completely. You have to watch the archive. Trying to unload our... There we go. Let's, there's our flatbed. There it is. That's the flatbed trailer. Let's go ahead and go in here and return the tedder. We will have no need for it anymore. Garage, leased items. I'm going to return that. We've made all the grass, or all the hay we will ever need. Based on my calculations. Let's hope the train doesn't come. Good. We never slowed the train down. Poor form in what, in mowing before you got here? Well, you never RSVP'd, so I didn't know that you were planning on attending. Did you see my post over at PCSG? Related to the Big M and the Tedder connected together. Well, you never sent me your forwarding address, and the invite I sent out came back, so it's still on you. It's starting to light up. Okay, I haven't seen your reply. I thought I was being rather ingenious. You've probably been doing it that way for 5 years, and you imagine everyone else is doing it like that too. So I think I'm seeing our grass fields over there are fully grown now. That's what we were hoping for. This field here is a growth behind, which is fine because it's probably going to be 3 game days before we get around to that field. All you're going to be baling now is silage bales, because grass bales are useless in seasons. What do I prefer, AR trucks or IT trucks? I would say I prefer the AR trucks, for the simple reason that the AR truck, at least the American AR truck, you can configure to also support a 5th wheel, so it could be your only semi. Better turn him off. So he could be your only semi. He could have a rear hitch, he could have a 5th wheel, and the AR hookups. The IT trucks are only good for one thing: hauling around IT modules. I guess you could, I don't know if you could put a back hook on them or not. And there are more, I think there are more AR modules than there are IT modules. What do what do grass bales bring? They don't bring a lot of money, do they? And with seasons, you don't have any grass for a good half of a year, a third of a year, anyway. Let's see what our autumn's looking like. We still have just 3 days of rain in autumn. Well, yeah, and previously, what you'd have like 5 big M's all on follow me to completely annihilate a field. No, don't dump manure on the ground. So it's important that we care for our greenhouses here. They're bringing in about $25,000 a day. They're going to more than sustain our daily operational costs for the rest of the summer and autumn. There, I went and dumped some more manure on the ground. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just got 7 more to do, and then we'll be done, and we'll call it the stream. And when we come back, we will be doing, we'll be picking up the rest of the hay bales that we've got laying around, and then we're going to get on our silage wrapping production. Our goal for this year was 600 silage bales. Last year, I think we got 700 or 313 produced, but this year my goal was to double that and go to 600. Now, since we got such a late start on making bales, meaning just now, the 5th day of summer, we will be able to make silage bales. I'm not sure if we can make 600. But then again, we do have 3 more grass fields than we had last year. So let's just work hard and see if we can't get that accomplishment taken care of. What field on Cherry Hills did you plant in grass? Did you plant a big old field, was it field 3? Alright, let's see how full that one is. See if it's worth coming back. 76%. We might as well fill it up. All right. We're going to drive back to the farm and then pick up any eggs that have accumulated and then call it done. So thank you guys for coming out and watching. I probably will do a stream. I probably won't be streaming the next day until Tuesday. So that'll just give you a little time frame of reference there. Alright, so let's take a look and see how we did today. We made 35 bales today. We had some more bales made earlier before we had to leave. We were down $87,000 yesterday, and that's because we bought our equipment. But our property income was up. Not really sure why it was up there. Harvest income, that was wood chips that we sold. Rent a job, wage payment. That's our manure we bought today. So spend $1,000 of manure and make $28,000. That'll work. That'll work every time. All right, so we're gonna save here and quit. And thank you guys for coming out and watching the stream. I encourage you guys to check other competitors out. They're linked in the description. And until next time, happy farming.